Good day, everyone. Ali Safi here, March 4th, 2025, S&P 500. Just had a very wacky day today. So we just kind of like a touch SMA 200 on a daily basis and getting back to this important pivotal point. Why this pivotal point is important? This is election pivot. This is when Donald Trump elected for US presidency, and you see that market just jump up all the way up to new all-time high just a couple of days after that. Uh, Today we just got here exactly back tested this area. So this is very important level for institutions. Institutions got back to this level today, and we just see that market went all the way down here to 57.50 as we expected before. So we can just delete this level here. We were kind of like looking for this area, 5700 to 5667, and market just nicely reacted, and this is the trend line. So we need to see a weekly close above this trend line. If we get above this trend line on a weekly basis, we should see a very bullish structure forming to the market. Still looking for that one. Market went all the way up. S&P 500 went all the way up to even positive territory, but getting back to the downside and finished negative today. But this bounce today was very huge. And also the volume was 110 million on SPY, which is a S&P 500 ETF. That's a lot of volume as well. That's a lot of shares. So this goes to this institutional level, as I said before. So keep an eye on this. We should see market just hold up a bit. Even if it goes lower, we should see a jump back up nicely. I would say this is going to be less likely. Potentially, we are forming the bottom. And the sentiment is very bearish when everyone is talking about recession. When sentiment was super bearish last week, and also fear and greed index actually goes to extreme fear, you see that market is just capitulating to the downside just for 5%. And when people are just panicking for 5%, this is when we should just be greedy, as Warren Buffett said. We should be greedy, I would say, at this level, because we're going to see a tradable bounce. And this is going to be at least tradable bounce. And the level that we have on top of us is here. So there are lots of resistance here around 6,000, I would say 5984 to 6,000 area. This is very important. So we may see some kind of like a bounce to this level, but again, everyone needs to keep an eye on this, because if we get back to the reversal, I would say that's going to be tricky. We may see some kind of like a lower low. Potentially, we are going to test this area, which is going to be 56.67. But if we just consolidate or breaking through to the upside, I would say 6,200 to 6,250, brand new all-time high is coming down the road. So all in all, I should say I'm kind of like a bullish, at least for a tradable bounce for a short term to 6,000 area. Let's just make it easy. If we see a reversal, that would be kind of like this scenario. If we see consolidation or breaking through, brand new all-time high is coming down the road. Right now, for the short term, you can trade market at least for 150 to 200 points to the upside. Nasdaq, great reaction to this level. Even Nasdaq didn't get to this trend line. Very close. Nasdaq got into this election pivot as well. So here's the election pivot, and look what happened. And Nasdaq price action, to be honest, is better. There is any semiconductors. We will get to those ones. And also Nasdaq is setting up for a nice tradable bounce to 21,200 to 21,400. So we're going to see another potential 1,000. I would say 1,000 profit for Nasdaq, and we may see some kind of like a good kind of like a setup for a long position, at least for big techies and semiconductors. We will get to those ones. If we get above this 21,400, then 23,000 brand new all-time high is coming. If it doesn't, then we are going to go back to the reversal. Potentially, we're going to challenge this 19,000 channel. So we will see how it goes. But right now, I would say potentially we are setting up for a new bounce. Dow Jones is the same price action. Remember yesterday we were talking about this aggressive apex pattern. So when we see something like this, the breaking through is going to be volatile and very aggressive. So we just got all the way down again to this area, but this is going back to this election pivot. So election pivot previously tested by Dow Jones. And this is very nice. Election pivot tested by Dow Jones and getting back to a nominal new all-time high. Right now, we didn't test election pivot. We just got back test by this previous demand area and forming up kind of like a weaker bullish, kind of like a lower shadow here. Still looking for getting back to the upside. If we recapture 43,400, then we can give Dow benefit of doubt. Otherwise, I would say everyone needs to be worried, especially financials. They just hammered the slaughter today, and I believe that sector rotation is coming. Money is rotating to big techies and semiconductors and just getting out, flowing out from financials. So we will get to those ones as well. Moving on to gold. Gold just had a positive day, nicely recapture SMA20, getting back to this 2900. This is bullish, folks. I believe that gold can set it up for a brand new all-time high. 3000 down the road is going to be very, very foreseeable scenario. So we will see that one. Moving on to silver. Silver is just setting up for a nice bullish candle as well. So we just got into this 30 area. $30 per ounce, getting back to the upside. Still, we need to get above $32. If we breaking through above $32, I would say we are gonna just get a higher high to 34 to $35. Moving on to crude. Crude just, I would say this is very weak still. It doesn't show any kind of like a reversal point. There are lots of buyers here. So the previous time we got it here, we got higher high, but this higher high failed just because we are just getting all the way down to this double bottom here. And lots of buyers again coming back around this area. But this area is tested a lot. So if we get back up and then getting back down, that would be very bearish. So we will see how it goes. But all in all, I should say this is not a bullish price action for crude. Potentially, crude is setting up for a bigger drop to the downside. So we will see how it goes. Tariffs against Canada, Mexico, China just effective today, and I believe the global growth is gonna just challenge down the road. So we will see how it goes. However, I would say copper is just forming very nicely. So copper is getting back to its bullish momentum, and potentially copper is gonna break it through to the upside. And the reason is a weaker dollar. So when we see weaker dollar, that's going to be good for commodities, especially metals. So copper is going to be beneficiary by weaker dollar as well. If it's not the case, then we should just find something else. Just because, as I said, global growth is going down. The only reason that I can find is the copper is getting to the upside, and right now it's just forming a very nice bullish setup here. Look at that again. I just want to pull out this chart. So this is very, very nice bullish setup here for copper. And for metals, I would say the next leg is going to going higher, 496. So we'll see how it goes. Moving on to individual names, starting with Bitcoin as usual. So Bit just after a very aggressive setup yesterday. We got all the way down to here, just getting back to the upside nicely. Still, we need to get kind of like a bullish momentum. We got this lower shadow here, but ended up to a negative territory again. So we'll see. Bitcoin is very, very volatile. So Donald Trump is saying US is going to be the crypto reserve for the world. Spike up, then getting back to the downside. Everything is forming very technical, I would say. Even move news, I would say move based on the news doesn't last long very well. It just short-lived movement to the upside, going to 94,000, getting back to the downside again. So we will see. We will see. We need to get above this 100,000 to get back to the bullish momentum. Otherwise, any kind of like a rally could be a sell. However, there is one good setup is forming this low, and this is a higher low. Both of them are very long shadow. So we will give Bitcoin benefit of doubt at least for a tradable, I would say tradable rally to 94 to 96,000 area. Moving on to Ethereum is forming the same. Ethereum just deeping down below. I actually just touched 2000. I would say below 2000, 1999 if I'm not mistaken, 1990, and then getting back to the upside. Below 2000, Ethereum is going to be valuable just because it goes back all the way to this demand area. So we'll see how it goes. Moving on to bond yield. Bond yield is dropping sharply, getting to this wide range bar, bounce back up. So right now it's pretty close to 4%. I would say bond yield is bottom for a short term. So I'm not expecting this one is getting back to the upside crazy. Potentially, we are going to see some kind of like a 415, 420 maximum for this area for a goodbye kiss, getting back to the downside. So we will see how it goes. But I would say any kind of like a rally in bond yield could be a sell. Treasury at the other time, just getting back to the downside. I would say this is going to be intermediate. I would say short-term top here, potentially for a next wave down um, for a next rally to the upside. So that would be kind of like the scenario for Treasury. Obviously, we are breaking this trend line, and also we are breaking this pivotal point, which is the structure shifting to the upside. So right now, we should just see if Treasury is getting back to the upside. That would be kind of like the scenario for a stock market top as well. But right now, stock market bottom, Treasury top. So this is kind of like coming along with each other. VIX, after kind of like a very volatile session, exactly it's coming with our analysis. That's pretty nice. We said yesterday when we get close to this level, potentially that's going to be a stock market um, bottom just because VIX is gonna be selling this area. We didn't get quite to that area, just $26, and then rejection. I would say even if tomorrow we get to this area, it's gonna be a rejection lower. That would be the stock market bottom. VIX top and VIX can go lower as well. So I'm not bullish on VIX. I'm kind of like looking for just a very, very nice indicator, especially this time for a stock market bottom. Moving on to Dixie. Dixie just sharp sell-off today. You see that dollar is just going down, so that's why gold, silver, even copper get higher. So we are gonna go kind of like lower to this 105, and potentially we're gonna find a bottom, at least for a bounce, for a short-term bounce, potentially to this area. So we may see some kind of like a getting bounce and then getting back up again. So dollar is ranging to the downside, and we may see some kind of like another potential drop again to this area. That would be kind of like a significant drop to the downside, which is going to be skyrocketing, I would say, reason for metal. So we'll see how it goes. Moving on to Apple, just getting down today. Technology, Apple is a weak name. I believe that it's just getting weaker and weaker, and we may see some kind of like a downtick to 200. If you haven't watched my video on Apple, I just posted video yesterday, and this is very, very a foreseeable scenario that if Apple goes down below this important 228, then we can see Apple is getting back all the way down to 200 area. So we will see how it goes. Moving on to Amazon. Amazon just nicely capitulated, getting back to the upside. So um, this is one of the signal that I'm just looking at. I need to see Amazon getting back above this supply area, 212 to 216. That's the area that I'm looking at. Meta just reacting nicely to this trend line here. Gap down, managed negative, but hopefully we will see some kind of like a reaction to this. It is very, very hopeful. They're optimistic about the Meta just reacting to this trend line. So we will see. If it goes back above this 680, then we can see double top even for Meta. So we will see how it goes. Moving on to um, Microsoft. Microsoft is going all the way down to this demand area and nicely bounce back up. So I would say Microsoft just managed slightly positive today. It was early session, it was kind of like a negative, but mid session getting back to the positive. As I said, very wacky day. So it's just going down. I believe Microsoft bottom, at least for short term. Google, the same, 3% to the upside. Great move for Google after this sharp sell off, actually capitulation to the downside, getting into this demand area. So the lots of buyers are coming back around this level. So this is the level for Google that buyers are coming back. And today we just got a nice rally to the upside 3%. And that's why I believe Google is kind of like getting attention for a tradable rally potentially to here to this area. Moving on to Netflix, just the doji bar. Tesla finally shows something. So it just reacted to this at 269. So this is very, very important. We just got a reaction. We need to see a nice kind of like a spiky move like Tesla car actually to the upside if he is still a bull. And after that, we should just keep an eye on 300, 310. There are lots of resistance needs to be broken through to the upside if we want to give Tesla benefit of doubt for a bullish momentum. Semiconductor index, after this sharp sell-off, I believe semis are kind of like a bottom, at least for a short term minimum, if it's not the bottom already. So this is in range market. As you see, the range market can be, there are lots of false or fake breakout, even on the bear side or bull side. So we just got a bull trap here. We may see some kind of like this is a bear trap if we get back to the upside. This is range. This is range market. And range market, you can't put like a precise stop loss on top and even on the bottom if you're short trader or long trader, so it doesn't matter. So range is very, very difficult to trade. I know it looks easy, but it's difficult in real scenarios. Stocks, the same pattern here. As you see here, just going all the way down to this white range bar, supported 200 level. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. Taiwan Semiconductor, I believe this is very, very nicely react. I was looking for this area, but seems like just buyers are coming back in this gap here. So 172 was the level. AMD, just a very, very nice, I would say, engulfing pattern, but last 10 minutes, I would say this engulfing gets back to bullish piercing, but very nice reaction to this level. 90 to 97 goes all the way up. Actually, let me just pull back here the chart here. So this is a demand area. This is a W pattern. Look what happened after that. AMD first time today just gap down, but buyers actually came back all the way, pushed the stock higher to 100 level. This is very, very nice. So if tomorrow you see some kind of like, potentially we're going to backtest this area, but that's going to be just a backtest, I would say, nothing more. NVIDIA, nicely getting back to the upside, recaptured this pivotal point. This is at least a short-term tradable position set up for NVIDIA. So we may see some kind of like a getting back to the upside. At least we are going to see 120 to 124 minimum. But I would say we may see some kind of like a 130, 132, even 136. That would be the scenario for NVIDIA for a trade to the upside. So we will see. Texas Instruments. This one is just, I would say the candle is red, but bullish harami. Lamb Research, bullish harami here as well. XLF, financials. I just want to emphasize that this sector annihilated today. And I believe money is just flowing out from banks, financials, and they're going to precious metals and big techies, semiconductors especially. So we will see how it goes. But all in all, I should say banks are heading lower, and that's going to keep moving lower for the next 2-3 days minimum. KBE, the same pattern, just reacted to this trend line, but this is very big. This is very sharp. Lower shadow is not that strong. KRE, the same pattern, just touching this pivotal point. JP Morgan going down. We may see a bounce around this area, but I would say JP Morgan can go all the way down to here to 225. Goldman Sachs just broken this trend line, obviously. We may see a dead cat bounce, but that's going to be dead cat bounce. Bank of America just slaughtered today. So this one breaking through nicely And I would say if it doesn't bounce back up sharply again, then we're gonna see some kind of like I would say a free fall to here 32 to 35. That's gonna be a lot. Wells Fargo, the same pattern. Below is empty. So if it goes down, I would say we're gonna see sharp sell-off to here to this area 58, even lower. So banks are kind of like in a very I would say shaky shape right now. GDX just getting back to the upside today. Nice pop, getting back down, back test, and backing and filling. The pattern is not that bad. So we may see some kind of like a bullish momentum coming to this market. GDX trade the same pattern here, going up. AEM going up today as well. Newmont just getting back to the upside. I know the candle is weak, but precious metals and gold miners are getting more attention these days. Gold, Barrick getting higher today. Remember, market was negative today. These names actually holding up very well. XLE, energy market, just going all the way down, but buyers came back up. So this could be a capitulation. This could be a capitulation, but we need to see a strong rally getting at least to 90 to $91. So if we see a strong rally to $91, then we can see a breaking through to the upside, and that was the low. So we need to see more confirmation. The same here for Exxon. Gap down, but buyers came back up nicely today. Chevron, the same scenario here, still holding up this pattern here, this pivotal point, and we need to get above this white range bar, which is tough. Yesterday candle for energy was tough. The lots of volumes actually just got out from that sector. We need to see money is coming back. But I would say energy market could be a potential, especially commodity market could be a potential for higher prices. Remember, tariff is going to be inflationary and not deflationary. So we'll see how it goes. All right, folks, I believe I covered everything. If you like this video, please smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, and have a good one. See you on the chart. Bye.